'Tis the season for new releases. Some highly anticipated new music is out today. Joining me now to talk about it is music critic Taron Cochrane. Thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me in.
So it's a big week for music. What is out today?
It is a big week for music. This week, actually, today marks the 50th anniversary of the first ever Bob Dylan release, 1962. Wow. So he has a new album out today called Tempest. There's also the new Dave Matthews Band for the college crowd and the hacky sackers out there. There's also Pet Shop Boys today, the new Pet Shop Boys. There as well is new Billy Talent. There's new Kix Brooks for the Brooks and Dunn's fans. He's actually the shorter guy with the mustache for people that may not know. There's also, for the punk rockers out there, there's a new NoFX album out today.
Wow.
Little Big Town. There's a new ZZ Top today, amongst many others.
So much.
There's a lot.
To go and
There's
listen
a lot.
To. So you mentioned Bob Dylan and that anniversary. Is this his new disc? Is this the Bob Dylan fans, are used to, or is this kind of the new Bob Dylan?
This album, it kind of reminds me of, well, to give you kind of a little bit of a preface on the album, there's the first single is Duquesne Whistle, which is it's a 1930s Dirty 30 sounding Western swing song. Okay. It's a train song. So I mean, your storyteller Bob Dylan is back, but it's kind of like Johnny Cash. When Johnny Cash released The Man Comes Around on American record, it was his last album before he passed away, and his voice was gone. With this album, you'll find that Bob Dylan's voice is nothing like you'd expect. Granted, nobody ever said that Bob Dylan had an amazing voice, but it's even worse now. So, I mean, the album itself is really, really good. There's some great songs on it. The Tempest, the title track, is a 14-minute long dedication to the Titanic. There's a song called Roll On John, which is a song written for John Lennon. There's some murder ballads. There's Pain and Blood. Yeah, so I mean, if you're a diehard fan of Bob Dylan, you'll appreciate the story writing and the fact that he can spin an amazing tale. But vocally, it's not what you'd expect. It's pretty growly, pretty raspy. One other thing to note is that actually Bob Dylan's coming to Regina on October 6th with Mark Knopfler. So.
Be a very exciting time.
Yeah, very exciting time.
We'll hear that groveling voice and that 14-minute song. Maybe he'll show up for then. But also, you mentioned Dave Matthews Band, new album out today, and their last album, Big Whiskey. Different sound for them. What can fans expect today? Well,
the new Dave Matthews album, Away from the World, it's very empowering. It's an uplifting album. The title track, Mercy, How Shall We Overcome This, is the video they made for it actually has over 14,000 participants of doing things they love in life. Now, the old album, the reason the old album didn't get as good as a reception is because their saxophonist had passed away. Leroy Moore, in an ATV accident, and that album was kind of like an homage to Leroy, and it was kind of like a New Orleans funeral. And that album, actually, if you look at the album cover, the cover art, it features Leroy on a parade float. Now, with that too is that they had gone with a different producer for that album, but with that being said, although it's darker and a little bit edgier, it did reach #1 on the Billboard Top 100, and it was their 5th consecutive #1 on the charts, only next to Metallica. So the new album is very Dave Matthews. People come to love and expect. Very reminiscent of Crash from 1996. Same producer, Steve Lillywhite, and it's a very happy album about love, life, social change.
All right, there's so many more albums that we never got the chance to talk about, but you made a playlist for this. I'm going to tweet it and put it on our Facebook page so you can see all of the new release action, and you'll be back next week to talk about all the goodies coming out next week. Right now, I'm going to